I felt an absolute fear of not being a part of society. I had no way to be a part of society. And where I got that strength from to wake up every day is everyone around me.
Heather Timms. This is STEMazing.
My first memories of enjoying STEM is while in primary school. These people came into the school and shared some activities with us, and one of them was counting to 30 on one hand, and it was really exciting. So I learnt binary that day. It just kind of blew my mind, and that was when the love of STEM really flourished and started forming. So I grew up just north of London. I have quite a big family. I've got 3 siblings, which is amazing. And it was very loud, but I had some very supportive parents who saw my enthusiasm to STEM and found it really exciting and helped me nurture that. They would get me puzzles and books for presents and things, and so a love of puzzles happened, and I learnt the Rubik's Cube, and I was able to do it in under a minute by the age of 16, 17, which is really exciting. They were very supportive even when I really wanted to watch some documentaries on the television, and they let me extend my bedtime so that I could actually watch the documentaries, which is really great. When I was younger, my ambition was to become an engineer fixing telescopes. I have an absolute fascination of stargazing and telescopes, and I loved astronomy. My parents bought me a telescope when I was about 14. We lived next to a park, so we would go out to the park and use the telescope and see the moon and try and see all the constellations and things. And I was able to watch the meteor shower when I was, I think, 17. And that was really exciting. So I really wanted to go into telescopes, use my hands, go in the astronomy route, but unfortunately I didn't get very good A-levels. I didn't even apply to uni, so it disheartened me very much. And it was really difficult, but A-levels is not the be-all and end-all of everything. It definitely feels like that. But you can achieve anything you want to after A-levels, even if the A-levels didn't work out very well. So after A-levels, I actually went in to become a lab technician. So I was working in a chemistry lab up in Cambridge. But unfortunately, they were downsizing. So I got made redundant after a few months. And that was really, really difficult to deal with that at the age of 19. But I thought to myself that I just need to get another job. So I was a bartender. So I was at my local pub. And that gave me great skills like teamwork, communication skills, customer service, that type of thing. Working at the pub wasn't really my forte. I knew that I really enjoyed doing my maths and doing physics while at school, and I just felt, can I do more? And do I want to do anything else with my life? Then 8 years ago, during my bartending time, I had annual leave and then went and did a fun thing and unfortunately collapsed and woke up completely blind in hospital, and I had no idea what was going on. My vision was absolutely nothing, and it was really difficult. I was in hospital for a month. I had head and spine surgery to try and deal with the problem that was happening in my body. And so after a month, I left hospital and I didn't know what to do. I had no idea. There was no guidelines to this, no instruction manual for having a disability thrust upon you. So it was really difficult to get through the days, but while I was in hospital, they were said that you're going to get some sight back, but they don't know how much or they don't know how long it's going to take. So I was just like, come on, I need to get some sight back. And every single day, I would pick up a book, look into it, close it again, and go, not today, not today. And it was the determination. I really hoped that I would get some sight back because it was really difficult. Humans are so incredible. The human body is so adaptable. And fortunately, I did get some sight back, which is amazing. But that was after like a 2-year period. But like during the first year, it was really difficult to get through. It was really difficult to know what to do next, because these days all I could do was press spacebar and walk in places where I knew. That was all I could do every day, which was really very difficult. I felt an absolute fear of not being a part of society. I had no way to contribute to society, to be a part of society. Where I got that strength from to like wake up every day is everyone around me. The support I had, my siblings, my partner, and my friends, they were all there to help support me, coach me back to knowing that I can live a normal life. So much so that I applied to the university within a year of going blind. So my local university has this like half foundation course. It's like the initial year of a STEM degree. So it's like half like a foundation course, half like A-levels, just to bump up your A-level grades. And so I applied to that going, what's the worst that could happen? I'm already blind. Like, I can't even read, but let's just try it. So I applied to that, and a few months later I got an email with an unconditional offer. They saw that like I didn't have that good A-level grades, but I was still had enough to get onto this course. And I didn't realise, but the university would have so much support to give me, which was really excited to give like someone with a disability. It's really, I can't thank them enough for that. They gave me a computer that had this software on that had the text-to-speech, so it narrated what was on the screen whenever you clicked around on it. It was very helpful, and I wouldn't have been able to do what I was able to do to find my capabilities with that. They also gave me a note taker, which was really super helpful because I could just about read Sharpie that was like 30 centimetres away from my face, because I've only got tunnel vision in one eye, and it was still coming back little by little. So at this point I wasn't able to read very well, and I could not see the board in the slightest. So it was absolutely amazing to get a note taker so that they could write the notes and write the questions, so I can still be a part of the lecture in real time without having to learn it from memory and having to remember like everything they said, even like for the whole hour. So that was, really great. So after I finished this initial year in a STEM degree, I had a choice, either do a maths degree or a physics degree. I knew that I wanted to go into the like astronomy and things. I had that real passion behind me for going into astronomy, but I wouldn't be able to be an engineer because working with my hands wouldn't be as easy when you can't see your hands. But maths is so transferable, and I have an absolute love of maths. It's just so incredible that you can define everything you do with mathematics, and it is beautiful. I really enjoy looking at like the circles and how things spin. Fluid dynamics is just, so exciting, and like it's just absolutely mind-boggling. I really enjoy like transport and planes and trains. So how they work, how the really fast trains are able to become faster is because of the design of it. So you need to know the mathematics behind that design to actually like understand how to make it faster. Maths has so many applications, and it's just so exciting. I love it. After university, with the backing of having that first class bachelor's in maths and a placement year, so I had like experience in the field, I was able to apply for GHD and engineering consultancy. So this engineering consultancy is all about infrastructure engineering, and I applied for their insights and analytics team because during my university I fell in love with data and how you can analyze it to find any sort of question that you want. And it's just really exciting to see what you can get out of maths and out of data specifically. So I did like a data internship where I was an analyst and then a visualizations analyst as well. And then I became a data science and analytics advisor in GHD, and that was incredible. They liked the way I had a lot of skills from the maths degree that I had, actually understanding the statistics behind things, and then also had the internship that gave me skills in teamwork and collaborative coding, which I had never done before, and working in a workplace environment with some incredibly supportive people. Obviously, going into the world of work is rather difficult, especially with a disability. I find the STEM community inclusive. Every time I'm having a problem and I ask someone for assistance or some help, some problem solving towards like how to lower this barrier, they usually most of the time say, yeah, sure, I'll help you with that, or yeah, sure, let's figure this out together. When I applied to the STEMazing Inspiration Academy, after the first webinar, I realised I had some issues and some problems. I didn't feel like the activities were as inclusive as possible, and I didn't think that I could even lead that meeting. And I spoke with a STEMazing person, and they were there to problem solve, going how we can make this easier and more accessible and more inclusive for everyone. And it was amazing. So I was able to run STEM activity sessions, and we did it as a team. So to me, diversity is powerful because we bring so many different voices to the table, so we can have a look at every different perspective, and so we can make it as inclusive together as possible. Without everyone's perspective, you will lose how you're able to look. So perspective is the key here. Perspective is absolutely foundational with diversity, because it's really useful to see people through their own eyes, and having that empathy and the understanding from each person, so we can all understand together what the world is instead of what we perceive the world to be, because our perception is going to be different than anyone else's perceptions. And everyone's voice is worth hearing. It is really powerful. So I really love my work. I really enjoy it. I have an absolute fascination in looking through data, finding answers that people haven't asked questions for yet, and understanding that data is so powerful. I find my work so impactful. I was working with some satellite data in the past few months, and that was really exciting, doing some geospatial analysis. I really enjoy making use of the data because this is such a data-driven world. There's just so many numbers in this world now, and it's just so easy to miss the ways in which you can help people. So, like, looking through data, understanding how to improve things makes people's lives a little bit easier, and I'm all for breaking barriers and making people feel more included, and I feel that my work can be so impactful that can improve everyone's life. I feel the proudest moment of my life is walking across the stage with my long cane in my graduation ceremony. I had a real thing going for university that I didn't think that I could do the graduation ceremony because they had stairs, and I wanted to do it like everyone else. I should be able to do it like everyone else. So I'm going to do it like everyone else. All I need is a handrail which they weren't able to provide. So all I needed was a shoulder, someone to walk down the steps with me while I hold their shoulders. And they kept saying, no, we can't do this. We've got a ramp somewhere in the back, so we'll make you go do that. And I was like, no, this is my graduation. I need to feel like I'm doing it like everyone else, because I am. So I walked across the stage and there was a person there, so I could use their shoulder, and we walked together down the only 3 steps. It's only 3 steps. But I walked down the steps, long cane in hand, holding on the shoulder with my other hand, and then walking down the middle. It was so lovely, and I felt like everyone else, and it was incredible. And I thank the university for giving me that support so that I could do that. To me, it is a bit daunting to be a role model, to be fair. I love being a role model, but it is a bit daunting sometimes. I love leading these activities in front of children so that I can be as impactful as what they were with me in primary school. You don't remember the person, you remember the feeling as a child when you're in that scenario, and I want to give out those feelings of impactfulness, the positive feelings, making sure that people know that STEM careers can be accessible, can be inclusive, because there's so many things about not as many women go into STEM, and people with disabilities, how can you make things more accessible? But I feel that people should know that STEM can be for everyone, can be for all, and I am a huge believer that anyone can do it. The definition of me is not the scars that I have, the disabilities that I have. It is the human being behind it. I am a person who loves maths, who enjoys being around people, and loves being in a place where I belong, who just can't see very well. I am not my disability. I am someone that has a visual impairment that needs a mobility aid, so I walk with a long cane. But I am not my long cane. I am not my sight loss. I am me, and I enjoy being me.
For more information about the guest featured in this episode, head to stamazing.co.uk/podcast. And to join the inspiration and inclusion revolution, just visit stamazing.co.uk. With thanks to Alexandra Knight and our production team at What Goes On Media. This is Stamazing.